Thank you for riding Uber. Have a very nice day. This message is for Taylor Swift as well as IU. Taylor Swift, you know what fascinates me? It's when Kelsey Travis made a statement saying that you're very amazing and he will never run away from you. And you know what? It's so amazing about IU. IU, I love you because you're amazing. The day I proposed to you, you said you're a student. So it means you would never listen to me. You would you'll never be told what to do, but you'll always be listening to me as a student. So um, I guess I'll always be teaching because the more I teach, the more students I'll get in abundance. Because then we could grow from each other. Huh? Okay, so because I can never tell you what to do, I'm telling you, I'm coming after you, IU. I love you. I'm a desperate man. I love you. I'm a desperate man. See ya. There you go. Thank you for riding Uber. This is Derek. Godspeak. Have a very nice day. There you go. Today I will start with an acapella poem for our favorite artist, 劉德華 Andy Lau. He's among the 四大天王 or Four Heavenly Kings, and the title of the song is 一起走過的日子. It's Together for the Days We Stride, and it sounds like this. 如何面對日子，一起走過的日子，現在剩下我獨行。如何有信息一講你知，從來無人明白我，唯一你俾我好日子，有你有我，我有情有生有死有義。With that, I will start with my story to get hired in Six Flags. So my days are numbered in KonaWare. For the next 6 months, I was hired quickly, very quickly, with high urgency to Synopsys. But they eventually, I think my manager who hired me and the entire QA department, their days are numbered. So they quickly walked me out. They wrote me up a few times. They walked me out 15 minutes and fired me. So that's why Synopsys was never in my resume. But I was already moonlighting. So what happened is I was 1 year into Toastmasters. Gino, no, actually, almost 3 years into Toastmasters, because Gino, this guy right here, came in. Jason Wong was the one who referred me to the job. We met as a friend because I hang out with a bunch of groupies during my Nortel days, and we go places and have fun, and so Jason went back to East Coast. Jason from BU, he graduated from Boston University, and so Gino took over as a marketing, and he asked me a lot of these HTML questions, in particular how the files gets propagated to the public server in KonaWare. But then one day I asked him to fix a couple of computer issues because I thought I could offload some of my task to other people, to diversify my skill as a manager. And he took it the wrong way, and it did not went really well. But he did refer me to Toastmasters, and so I started in Toastmasters. I applied in Six Flags. I know. I actually auditioned for Winchester Mystery House. They didn't hire me. I said something like I'm a software engineer and I stumbled. They didn't hire me, but I was in a desk in KonaWare, the computer desk, and I applied. And a week later, I got the invitation for interview in Six Flags. By the time I was getting really excited, I really want a job in Six Flags, and because my days are numbered, I went into the human resource. It's a bungalow. There's a parking lot. It's an employee parking lot. guests have limited parking space for their, it's mainly for employees. That goes to the backside of the bungalow, and people clock in over there because there's so many miners working. You need to clock in the system and then to write up the miners, and because a lot of them, they're under 18, they have to sign a paper from high school in order to get a job in Six Flags. And I was lining up in the bungalow just for the job interview, and this girl came in. She was wearing sandals. I was looking at her toes and everything. I was, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I need a job. I want a job. I was just begging for the job. I aced the interview, and that basically shifted my psychology. Right, the minute that I got a job, and 2 years later, they gave me the title public relations officer of Six Flags. And that just shifted my psychology again. 2018, Maggie became Miss Chinatown, shifted my psychology. 2019, she became Miss Popularity of Miss Chinese International. That just shifted my reality. So there I am. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk about uh, the piano layout, the keyboard layout, the white keys and the black keys. So long time ago, music started when at a harp. You played the string at a harp at this funny shape. That's the C major. This funny little shape. So after this harp, they lay it sideways and they use the goose feathers to pluck the strings and become harpsichord. So a harpsichord is a piano, and it's very expensive because like if you go to conservatory of music in San Francisco, uh, people who play harp, they have to literally go find goose and they have to pluck the feathers for the harpsichord. So it's one of the most expensive instruments. Piano is one of the least expensive instrument. It's really the guitar, the way the board is out and the string that's made that makes the string instrument more expensive than uh, 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 piano. But so after the harpsichord, I guess electricity came in, so they have pipe organs, right? So and then it's not full 4 octave; it's probably 2 octave, right? So they have two layouts, and then that's where the black key comes in. The black key are supposed is the layout for the pipes and the organ. And so with the black keys, the interval was established. The interval is a distance between um, the black keys, or strictly only black keys, or the white keys. In guitar, it's called unison. You play the same key again, and then the very next key is a second, and that is translated to the ledger lines. In the ledger lines, you have line and space. Line and space is a second. Line is a third. Is a distance. Space is a third. Line is a fifth. You play the entire hand. 1, 3, 5 fingers. And space is also a fifth. It's a distance on the ledger line. Right. So it's a one-to-one mapping. Right. If you want to know how the keys are mapped to the ledger lines, yeah, you could have direct mapping. And then if you want the ledger lines mapped to the piano, then yeah, there's also a direct mapping, because then you could look at a letter and then the line and the spacing. It corresponds to the black keys or the white keys, right? In guitar, there's a concept of intervals. So you took out the sharps and stuff like that. You look basically there's only intervals for the white keys. There is interval for black keys, but it's very cumbersome, right? And it's not one mapping. It's you look at the ledger lines and you map it to the guitar fret. It's not you look at a guitar fret and you map the intervals. There's a semitone. Semitone is it's a scale. It's a tonic whole. It's a half step, a whole step, right? So that's the next layer up. So a lot of people already get confused because they don't know the lay of the land, right? So just start with the intervals of the black keys and the white keys. The next thing you need to know are the absolute distance between the middle C, treble B, and the bass D. Right here. If you count uh, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So in order to know the names, like two black keys is C, D, E, and three black keys is F, G, A, B. Right. The first B on the upper octave is a treble B. The first D on the lower hand, it's uh, it's bass D. It's virtual octave. It's just it's there's another key that repeats itself, right? Because it's exclusive. The keys are exclusive because then you need the C again to repeat the next octave, right? So in order to figure out how to navigate on the piano, you use those absolute distance, and then you count the intervals to navigate around. Right? So you're not lost. It's like looking at a map. In piano, in piano, you can look at the address and you look where the distance to the map is, or you could look in the map and you figure out where the location of uh, the your residence, right? But in guitar, this is only one direction. You have to look at the map to figure out where your residence is. You cannot figure out. There's no absolute distance between your guitar fret going to the ledger lines, and people get confused already, right? Because the next thing you have to know are the five finger patterns, right? So what's a five finger pattern? It's the lowest finger is the name of the key. Tonic, ho ho, half ho, right? You play and then so basically, if you count all those right here, uh, you have a series of five finger patterns, and you could group them. And this is how it's grouped, right? You have C, G, F, which is only mostly white keys. C is all white keys. G just one black keys. Uh, 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 if you count five finger pattern as well as an octave scale, they're almost the same thing, except you just took out the three notes of finger pattern, and F is one black keys, right? And then the inverse is that C minor, G minor, and stuff. This is group one. So D, A, E, that's another group. And then you have D minor, A minor, and C minor, right? And then the group three is almost the same as group two. It's D flat, A flat, and E flat. So already, if you memorize C, G, F, G is very easy to remember. It's mostly white keys, and the same thing, right? So D, A, E, D, A, E. Always remember D, A, E is group two, and D flat, A flat, and E flat. It's group three. It's very hard to memorize the group four, but it's B flat, B, and F sharp, right? So it's black, white, 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 black, black, and black, black, black for the F sharp key. That's group four, and then the inverse of that is actually group five, right? So you have all these, and then you can use it to play five uh, five bar blues, right? The lower sign is a key, and you play rhythm, and you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually a 4/4 key signature, and you play all these signature. That became the basis for for the blues, 5 bar blues, right? Basically, because you have the chord. Chord is two or more notes on the same time. So the and then classical music came along, Furlies and stuff like that. So the next type of music that came along is music harmony. How you improvise your five finger pattern, right? So you have a dominant, which is it's like a dominant is like your wife, right? It's the most primary link, and then you have cousins and you have kids, subdominant, and the way you built it is you inverse the note, right? So you have just different names. It's different variations of a name of note, about how you invert the note on the five finger pattern, right? So that became music harmony, as how you play music, the notes on your left side, and you harmonize it by playing variation of the five finger patterns, right? So that's classical music. So the way jazz come along is you have a bass line. Whether this bass line could be a bass guitar, could be drumming, could be uh, a vocalist, and you just have a bass line and you harmonize it according to the bass line using the dominant and the chords that you play. So, so jazz is really music harmony. That's built on top of how you design your chord accordingly. That's where jazz came along, and then you have pop and popular and all these are like social media. You mix it with videos and stuff like that. I guess those are it. And so so a lot of people when they learn guitar, they don't have, like I said, the absolute stuff. It's like coming to someone coming to me and ask what's an albatross. I said, well, an albatross is a lighter version of a noose. And then you look up the dictionary, and then the dictionary is, and you look up the word noose, and then a noose is a heavier version of an albatross. There's no, so you're already lost, right? And then you have to go through a series of exercises that you define what's a flat key, black keys, and everything. And there's no basis because once you have a basis, you don't need to learn anymore. You just memorize it, right? There's no learning. This is memorize it, right? Because like tonic is tonic, whole, half whole. Just memorize it. Don't overthink it. Just memorize whole step, half step. And so a lot of people get lost, and then would you play a chord and a guitar, right? There's an open string, and there's other frets that you play, and you go up a second interval, and so you're already lost because then you don't even know what the interval, what the true definition of interval. What the true definition of interval basically, you go up down the fret, which you're not lost. But then like once you go beyond what intervals in a fret, and then you have to go A flat, B flat. It gets really confusing. So when people get lost, there's it's hopeless for them to learn guitar already. That's the problem. The great thing about guitar is just focus on the chord, right, and the piano. Like you're supposed to think of a chord when you play music, and so that's why guitar has such a major advantage over um, piano. And with that, I will start by timing again right here. This time I'll look at the lower staff, bass staff right here, and play the page 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fast counting. So I'm going to play the last measure and slow counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 I'll do it again with the bass. I was looking at treble. I'm more comfortable with the treble staff. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 so that's page 5. With that, I will talk about my KonaWare Core messaging. Basically, I need to reorient myself where the tabs are located. The tab 3 is client menu development. It's layer 1. So so if you look at the tab 3, that's really where the classes, uh, the state variable classes are defined and instantiated, right? So when you look at where it's defined, you look at the package directory like KonaWare dot util package location, and that's where the class is defined, right? But then when you look at how it's instantiated, you're looking at tabs right now. You're not really looking at where it's defined at different levels. You're looking at where the tabs is. When you go from left to the right, it's higher level, right? So level 1 is client development menu, and that's where like the it's a state machine basically. It's a database operation as well as and stuff like that, and they're attached to menus. They're attached to menus, um, and so like a text area, right? So as it goes higher, then you would have JSP pages rendering the realm. The realm is rendered both on the JPanel, which is a canvas, as well as on the server side, like a GIF file. So that's higher order input output. Right. I also need to fix the build. It's not clean. I have to clean everything and use my MacBook to create my own new Java application and then create my own package. I create my own packaging and and then I had to import the classes to the package. I can't just import the source file directly like that. It's not working. I had to go a little more deeper into it. And also, I want to talk about the context servlet, right? So, in order, each context is a microservice, basically, right? So, let's say you want to download a GIF file. So, you have a context like KMP gateway, right? Like KMP3, because the context number is the KMP3. 3 is the versioning that's extracted, right? So, if you want a lot of these service, then you just install a lot of these a WAR file, right? So you want to do it programmatically. The thing about if you want to programmatically, you cannot parameterize. If you want to get an octave string, the first thing that you have to get the print input string. You cannot use a print writer, right? So you cannot. There's no parameter. The entire context is the actual, like let's say download GIF, right, or zip a file, these microservices, or encode a video, or get database operation. Uh, you just have a lot. There's a lot of manual stuff. You want to do it programmatically. There's API uh, on load. So you could create a servlet that's loaded on startup, using load on startup, set it to 1, and so you have that, and programmatically switch the context. So if you write some sort of stuff where the do get is parameterized and locks it up, the next call has to be a do post. You could parameterize it like that, and there's probably a timing stuff like that. If it's more than 5 seconds, then the lock is released, and then you cannot do you'll get error if you do post again. You have to have the next do get to get the do post like that. It slows it down because then like the request won't be within a microsecond, but these are microservices, and so you can implement that a lot, quite a bit. And so with that, you have more features like database access and higher level microservices. With that, I want to focus on the build, and the chat. I need to create a series of layered rendering before I can have higher level chat. I can always do it. I just print the string, right? But remember, you have to get the hash map back from the callback and render it. Right? So it has to be a pipeline. So that takes a little bit of work. With that, I will see you the next time.